Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have a league game at home against Real San Sebastian and a very important Champions League game at home against Leicester. In terms of our recent form, we've not done too badly, but we are scraping by with our results. Since you were last with us for Monaco and Real Madrid, we've won 5 of our last 6 games, but all of those games have finished 1-0. It's been a very odd run of form, but it has largely gone in our favour. The Super Cup semi-final against Atletico Madrid was a 1-0 defeat, but as you can see, all the other games were a 1-0 win. Zaragoza 1-0, Espanyol was a penalty. Sevilla, we actually had Araujo sent off after just 5 minutes. We continued to work really hard in the game and managed to get the 3 points. Tobias Gonzalez scored the only goal in the cup tie against Tarragona, who are a couple of divisions below us. We did rotate the side, played some of our reserves, including our young goalkeeper Tesfaye, finally getting his debut. Kept a clean sheet, we dominated the game largely, and that again was 1-0. And then a late goal from substitute Lautaro Martinez against Roma in the Champions League got us a very, very important 3 points there. So going into this game against San Sebastian, the league table, we are still right behind Real Madrid. We're currently sat in second place. We've been in good form, as I was mentioning before. We're 2 points behind Madrid at the moment. Their only loss was to us. Our only loss so far is to Sporting Gijon. Gonzalo Ramos top scorer in the league. So again, form is good. I'm hopeful that we can continue that against San Sebastian, who are sat second from bottom at the moment. Sevilla, like I say, we scraped by with having gone down to 10 men. But we haven't really played many teams recently in this top half. Espanyol is the most recent one, of course. So fingers crossed we can continue this run of form. We are going to rotate back a little bit following the cup tie, of course. We've had a number of midweek games as well, but we have got to be very mindful of that game against Leicester. And when we come into that game, I will tell you why in relation to the Champions League table. So we've got Headley in goal, Molina, Otto, Koundé and Echeverria at the back, Gonzalez, Balde, Verelst and Yilmaz in midfield with Pedri in behind Lautaro Martinez. We haven't offered new contracts to Koundé and Martinez as of yet. As it stands, their contracts do expire at the end of the season, but our previous club, Brentford, have actually come in with a contract offer for Lautaro Martinez. They do seem to be picking off some of the old boys that we have had here quite regularly, in fact. I think they had 2 from us last season, and Lautaro Martinez could be a free transfer for them. He's done well, but my focus is bringing in Ramalhet from Benfica. He is the striker I want. We've tried to get him this season and last season, and it's just not quite worked out, but he is still at Benfica. He rejected a move to Manchester United in the summer transfer window previously, so it's still a move that we could, uh, in effect, sort out, but we'll have to wait for that into the next summer probably, and when budgets come through and everything like that. So here we go for this game. Fingers crossed we can continue our good form. Like I say, San Sebastian haven't been in good form at all. I'm hoping we can compile that misery. As Koundé with a header off the post, he plays it back into Balde, and a chance as he goes into the penalty area. He's now on the edge, finds Gonzalez. Now Koundé again into Yilmaz. Now Gonzalez again. Koundé. Unfortunately, the highlight comes to nothing after the initial effort. Stands to reason why they'd show the rest of the highlight in the first place, but it doesn't matter. Pedri here with a free kick into the penalty area. Otto couldn't win it, and there's a chance for a breakaway here. Uriarte charging forward. Gonzalez with a lovely challenge to slow the move down. And we have got a few players back in position. Ayazabal into Kvale. Uriarte. It's a really good turn. And now Lopez is free on the right side. And he plays it into Lillo. And that is a big chance for the side near the bottom of the league. Off the post and wide. Just shows that we've really got to stay focused in these games. We can't take them for granted. Like I said, the number of 1-0 wins has been very odd in recent matches. We need to just pick ourselves up a little bit, start scoring goals again. Gonzalo Ramos has been a bit quiet recently as well, so even though he's the top scorer, he hasn't scored for a few matches, and it is a little bit of a concern. We do want to work Saglin Benny back into the side, but he did pick up another injury after his previous one. So he's just coming back into fitness. He did play in the cup tie against Tarragona and he didn't do too badly. So here is Otto with the ball over the top. Kazim Yilmaz picked it up. That's a lovely pass into the penalty area. First time cross into Pedri, and we have our lead. It was a very well worked goal in the end. Down that right hand side, we'll just wait for the replay to come through. And Gonzalez almost lost possession. He's on a yellow card, so he's got to be careful. But Otto with the ball out wide. Kazim Yilmaz, first time, whipping it into the penalty area, and Pedri was there to slot it home. He's had a quiet season again, Pedri. I am hopeful that he will get out of his a little bit of a rut, but we do keep changing his position. I did mention in one or two episodes ago that I'm still not sure where his best position is. We've played him all over the place, but he seems to be making a case for the attacking midfield here with the goal. We have a 1-0 lead at half time, and overall, it's a solid first half performance, but only the one shot on target between the two sides. We've not massively pressed home an advantage here, and both sides with 4 shots in total. So we've got the majority of the ball. They have looked like scoring because they hit the post in the first half, but other than that, same from our point of view as well. Koundé hit the post from a set piece, but other than that, it's been a very quiet game for both sides. And we are going to make some substitutions here. There's 25 minutes to go. We've got 4 players struggling for fitness already. We're going to bring Charles de Ketelaere on for Pedri. Balde struggling, so Bene can come on. Verelst isn't quite struggling just yet. We'll leave him on for a little while longer. Tobias Gonzalez can come on that right hand side, and Federico Gonzalez is struggling as well as being on that yellow card. So I'll bring him on in there. Incidentally, our fullbacks aren't doing too badly fitness-wise today, so we can leave the last substitution for now. Lautaro Martinez hasn't had the best of games, and considering he may be leaving the club at the end of the season, most of his goals, from what I can gather, from what I'm working out, he scored 1 or 2 in the league or cup games, but most of them have come in Europe. He's certainly proven to be a good European goal scorer for us this season. We do seem to be just slightly improving. Possession is slightly increasing in our favour. We're getting a few more attempts in at goal. But again, as it stands, it remains 1-0, and we do seem to be becoming a bit of a specialist in this result at the moment. I'm hoping it can continue because I hate 1-0s. I really do. Anything can happen in a game at 1-0, but it looks like we are going to hold out. And not many highlights in this match, but again, another 3 points on the board, and it's over to Real Madrid to see how they get on. A poor performance from Lautaro Martinez. I think in terms of the pace of the game, he is just slightly starting to struggle now. It's unfortunate. I mean, he's been a good servant to the club. He did really well for us last season, as we know. But it is time to make that change. And Koundé, as well, has had a really good season so far in defence. But again, he's just getting to that point where some of his physical stats are just starting to get that decrease. As good as a defender as he is just about starting to struggle now in certain matches. We've got a couple of days to go until the Leicester game. But what I'll do before we head over from that is show you that Champions League table. So we've already qualified in the playoff place. But we're in a position where if we beat Leicester, depending on results for Atletico, Bayern and Manchester United and all these other teams that are above us as well, we might be able to qualify in the top 8, which would mean that we miss the qualifying fixture for the round of 16. So it'd be a round less that we'd have to play in. I'm hopeful that we can get into there. Inter Milan are 4th. We've beaten them. We've lost against Arsenal and Porto. So obviously those results have certainly been big effects in this situation. Monaco are one of the teams that beat us as well, and they're right outside that place. But we have qualified for the next round already, but if we can get that top 8, it would be quite an achievement considering the circumstances that we've had so far in this tournament. So bear with me for a moment, get these couple of days out of the way, and then we'll be back for that Leicester match, hopefully with a good result on the way. Okay then, here we go for this really, really big game against Leicester. It's going to be a massive game. A win is vital if we want to have an opportunity to qualify in that top 8. I've already started to identify certain positions we may need to strengthen in the summer as well because players may be leaving. Lautaro Martinez has actually agreed terms now with Brentford. He's just waiting on a work permit. So he is definitely going to be leaving us on a free transfer come the end of the season. We may be able to sell him to them during this January transfer window. I'm not entirely sure. One of the young players that we brought in, Thomas Lund, the defender from Copenhagen, we signed him for £2.6 million. We received a straight up £10 million bid from Marseille, so he could also be on his way out. It's an instantaneous profit, and any money that we do get in the meantime could be beneficial to us going forward. So again, we've got plenty of players that we brought in into the B team and the under 19s. So if players don't want to be here, they've already been replaced. But at the same time, if we can make profit on them, as I mentioned at the start of this season, we'll be in a very good position. To be quite honest, we've got Hedl, Molina, Olsen, Araujo, Koundé, Caminata, Balde, Gonzalez. I missed the last few. Yilmaz, Pedri, and Ramos as our starting 11. We are going to keep an eye on the table. As such, Monaco are already ahead in their game, as are Real Madrid. Obviously, we have to win this game to have a chance of getting into that top 8. I am hopeful that we can do that, but again, I'm not entirely sure how it works in terms of goal difference or head-to-head. But with current results in mind, we can't actually catch any of the teams in that top 8. Real Madrid are 2-0 up at the moment. Koundé hit back to Hedl, plays it forward. That's a shocking ball, and Arnau picks it up. And an opportunity maybe here for Leicester. It is Arnau, plays it in. Araujo manages to clear, but Vitic picks it up for Leicester. Now Ricky. Into Vitic again, played all the way back to the goalkeeper, Grabara. Barnett into Newman. Newman was one of the players we wanted over the summer, of course, and he chose Leicester over us. Here is Ramos. Can't get past Newman. Again, very instrumental in that midfield at the moment. Johnson. Back to Arnau. Into Vitic. Johnson again. Leicester dominated possession. Olsen with a very good interception again. Pedri with the ball. Again, it's cut out. This time by Barnett. It's over the top for Cole Jevons. And it is 1-0 to Leicester City. And Cole Jevons was a player at Manchester City previously as well. I don't think he was offside there. And that has stood true. The goal has been awarded 3 consecutive errors with our passing play, and Leicester are in front. Like I said, we've already qualified for the playoff, but a win could have potentially seen us do a little bit better, but as such, other results wouldn't have allowed that anyway. But that was poor, to be quite honest, from us. We didn't connect any passes, we didn't move forward in any conviction. We just booted the ball forward, and Leicester picked us off every time. And since then, there's been no highlights whatsoever, and it has been a very, very poor performance. And again, we are struggling in the Champions League. It does make me wonder if Barcelona is going to be the team that we can do this with the Champions League, to be honest. We're not necessarily going to get another opportunity like this to be able to manage a team of Barcelona's quality. Teams don't tend to sack the managers at the big clubs very regularly, so certainly food for thought. We've had to make 2 substitutions early here with Verelst and De Ketelaere coming on for Pedri and Gonzalez, and other players are still struggling for fitness, and there's still no other highlights. We're going to demand more from the team, and we are going to make some substitutions. I mean, Koundé and Molina are both struggling. We haven't got any of the fullbacks on the bench really, so Koundé is going to have to stay on. Jordan is an option, but I think getting the attacking players on is a little bit more important right now, so we will do so. Lautaro Martinez obviously could be on his way out. Ramos has had a terrible game. Hopefully, Lautaro Martinez can do the deed once again in Europe for us. Here is Molina into Olsen, now Verelst into Ramos. Caminata. That's well played to move the ball out to this right-hand side. Koundé into Kazim Yilmaz. Chance for a delivery. Hickey does want to make the challenge, but Yilmaz picks it up again. And again loses out to Hickey. But Araujo into Koundé. Now Caminata into Verelst. Yilmaz with the pass into De Ketelaere. It's an explosive finish. It's his 11th of the season. He certainly seems to have improved his form in that attacking midfield role. He wasn't as good last season, but he has started to really settle into that role now, De Ketelaere. A number of penalties, I might add as well, but it doesn't matter. Goals are goals. And we have our equaliser with 20 minutes to go. It was well worked in the end on that right-hand side. De Ketelaere's explosive finish, giving us that equaliser. And we still have a very slim chance. We are still going to make those substitutions. There's been a number of poor performances out there today as well, but hopefully we can just fight our way through a little bit. If we can get another goal, it's the best chance we've got. Saglimbeni clears, looking for Gonzalez, and he managed to tackle Jevons, who picks it up again and finds Newman. Now Ortega into Hickey, into Erkan Karaman, and Cole Jevons is chasing it down. And for a minute there, I thought the defender just gave up on it. Heddle, in the end, coming to claim, and I thought Jevons would have been through momentarily. It's a good kick from Heddle, but Ortega easily beating Saglimbeni in the air, and Leicester coming forward again in a big wave. And here is Jevons, and he's put it wide. That is a massive chance for Leicester City, who, by the way, are sat in 15th place, so they're in line for a playoff qualification as well. We have still got a chance here. We're going to encourage the team a little bit. I don't think it's about time I thought about it. I don't think we're as good as what I think we are. We do seem to really struggle when it comes to European competition, and the fact that no matter what we do, we can't qualify in that top 8, it is a concern. We didn't do it last season, and we've fallen short again this season. And there's still a potential for a winner, but Leicester are the team coming forward again. And it's Johnson moving down this right-hand side, plays it in. Williams was there, Newman was there as well. Gonzalez manages to clear, but to nobody except for Pellegrini. What a lovely delivery toward the far post. We managed to get it away. And Olsen picks it up, knocks it forward to Saglimbeni. Inside to Molina. Have we got a breakaway chance here? It's a great ball from Molina. Saglimbeni now moving forward. Plays it across to Tobias Gonzalez. Lautaro Martinez. It's a nice finish, but he was miles offside. Absolutely miles and miles offside. It didn't even show the replay. It was so obvious. And Koundé wins that header, but there's no support there. Tobias Gonzalez picks it up into Koundé. Tries to look for De Ketelaere. Olsen. Saglimbeni. We're into the last few seconds of added time. I don't know if the referee's going to blow the whistle or not, but Molina plays it in looking for Martinez, and it's cleared away. And it's ended up being quite a nothing highlight by the looks of it. Well, it's allowing the throw-in to be taken. Molina into Saglimbeni. Molina looking to far post. Gonzalez was there. Emre into only as far as Caminata. And again, nothing highlight. Absolutely nothing to do with anything there. And it's a 1-1 draw. The fact that we're not scoring a lot of goals at the moment in each game is a little bit of a concern. Overall, we weren't good enough. We have qualified for the playoffs, which is still progress to the next part of the competition, but again, it's more football, and considering we're challenging for the league as well, the last thing we needed was that. Incidentally, if we'd have won that game, we wouldn't have finished in the top 8 anyway, but that's beside the point. We need to be giving ourselves a better opportunity. But the teams that finished above us, Monaco, Arsenal, Porto, they all beat us, so it stands to reason that that's certainly why we fell short, unfortunately. And going forward, I'm not entirely sure when the fixtures are going to be in place, but we'll just have a look at the schedule now. And going forward, there's still a game left at this part. Again, I don't know when the next part of the Champions League is going to be in place. I think it's in February. It may be at the beginning of March. So I'm not going to give a definite area where we're going to come back for the next episode. We'll just get through a number of matches, see when the Champions League games come into play, and we will have, if not the first leg, maybe the second leg of the next round of the Champions League, depending on where it falls. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for all your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. And this is Big Will, signing away.